Pounders, we are back doing what we do best, and that is putting $25 into Best Ball Mania. Johnny, welcome, my man.
It's good to be here in the pound. This is a nice little relaxation session for me. I've spent the last 20 or 30 minutes dealing with a blowout. Those of you out there in the pound that don't have a child might not know what a blowout is.
Baby
so
blowout.
Break it down for you real quick. A blowout is when the poop comes all the way through and out of the diaper, sometimes down the legs, sometimes up the back. This was down the leg version, so that can get very messy. That could take some time, but hey, it's all in the game.
So you escaped. So you escaped the live stream. You left your wife to deal with that. I see what you did. I see what you did.
Look, honey, it's getting pretty close to 8. Pat's counting on me, and the pound is waiting. Don't leave the pound waiting.
Fellas, welcome. Any day we're drafting is a good day. And that's going to be every day from here on forward. Absolutely disgusting. We have options on options. DraftKings, Best Ball Mania, the puppy. And now with the news, in the NFL, do they even know how big this is for fantasy football? They've released one of the most juicy possible Week 17 matchups, which is all we care about for fantasy football. KC versus Cincinnati. Unbelievable.
The fireworks will be going off in Week 17. And there's a lot of ramifications when it comes to best ball for sure.
Dude, the overreactions. I'm going to pull up a draft real quick, and this is 21 minutes to the minute. 21 minutes after that tweet dropped from NFL on Twitter. Let's pull this up because it's disgusting. Let's see what happened. Look at the 11 spot here. He went Mahomes, T. Higgins. This is what is happening.
Yep.
First off,
but you can't blame him.
This guy kind of paid the rake. He kind of paid the rake. His team it came out like doo-doo, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's going to happen when you go Mahomes over Devontae Adams and you force it. Now, if the price gets to this point, have at it. Have fun. I'm going to advance more lineups. Maybe I won't have the sexiest Week 17 game script, but we'll have a good one. I promise you that. We're gonna find some hidden values. That's gonna be the goal once the schedule comes out. We're gonna hit it hard on those juicy matchups Week 17 before the ADPs get ridiculous because it's already happening. We'll see where it goes today or tonight in Best Ball Mania. But this is what happened in one of these drafts. Now let's pull up, and this is exactly why I was telling everyone why we're drafting so early, and we ended up doing 18 teams. This is the 19th one. Once we got that news about that game, just try to see if I can get lucky. This is supposed to be a money symbol. Excuse me. This is a Mahomes, Jamar Chase squad. Chase at 4. This is not going to be possible anymore. I highly doubt this is going to be a thing. And when the news broke, it was 5% full, the tournament. That means 95% of teams from here on forward will not be able to get Jamar Chase and Patrick Mahomes stacked. I highly believe people are going to overreact. Mahomes ADP is going to drop. We'll see what happens tonight. Josh Jacobs, Jerry Jeudy, Kyle Pitts, Isaiah Pacheco, Tony says the double, KC double, Brandon Cooks, Quentin Johnson, who's still rising, Elijah Mitchell, Antonio Gibson, Rashawn Johnson, Juwan Johnson, Rashid Shaheed, Michael Gallup, riser. Shaheed's rising still. Chase at 189. Desmond Ridder, and then Van Jeffy at 213. He's in the 170s. He's in the 170s right now. So this is why you draft early. You don't have to do all 150. Yes, you can luck your way into a good matchup. It happens. It just happened. So we're going to keep an eye on that lineup. Other housekeeping. All of the giveaways from here on forward will be done through the Discord. Make sure you're following. We have like 20 people in the Discord already dropping their lineups in the draft grade section. People are loving that. I'm loving it. I'm throwing my lineups up there. And it's a lot of fun. What do we got? Schedule's coming out, I believe, at 8 p.m. Eastern tomorrow. Yeah, here it is, 8 p.m. 8 p.m. Eastern. So keep an eye out for that. I'm going to be live tomorrow when that drops. That might be a 3-hour stream. We'll see how you guys do on the like button. Let's see if you smashed it enough times.
That's a big video. The game changes tomorrow at 8. That's where we find out a lot of information. That's for sure.
Let me peek. How many likes did the last video get? Because we were doing a giveaway if it hit 50. 42 likes. All right. So the towel is still active. 50 likes. 50 likes on this video. A random commenter will get a Roger Goodell clown nose towel sent to their house via the pound. So go ahead, smash the like button.
Doesn't matter what fan base you're from. You gotta love that thing.
All you have to do is like the video, be subscribed, drop a comment. Other news. The draft guide will be ready tomorrow before 8 p.m. I promise. And that is going to be attached in the Discord. Let's go. Are we ready to get into a draft?
All right, let's get in there. Let's see what's up.
Stay loose. Stay loose. Let's say hey to the fellas.
Stay frosty, baby. Stay frosty.
Panks Picks, what's up, my man? ER7, Dennis, Seth, Love Stars, Fancy Dysfunctional, Jason Von Buren, and C. Dylan, the typical suspects.
That's right, JBB. JBB, my man, my Celtics brother, and let me tell you something right now. We will not speak of that game right now. I'm not trying to cry.
I need to jump into a draft before I read any more Boston sports talk.
Not trying to cry in the live stream, JBB.
We're waiting on one person. Hart, what's up, my man? Welcome to the live stream. ER7 says, I'm new at best ball. Does schedule really make that much of a difference for a whole season or week 17? At week 17. Yeah. I'm going to be I'm going to be more focused on playoff weeks, week 15, 16, 17. It's so hard to advance in these tournaments. I think it's ridiculous just to focus week 17. And if influencers, best ball influencers bigger than us are going to tout those games and they become awful values to a point where it's going to hurt your advance rate. Yeah, I'll take my chances and maybe we'll scoop the running back. And guess what? That's how you leverage that game. Let's go.
Sure. Let me ask you a question, Pat. How do you feel about a double stack on that week 17 matchup? Like trying to orchestrate a double stack.
It's fine.
The Bengals or the Chiefs.
It's tough, right? You have 441 teams. Sure. Double stack works. DK, where there's like 11 or 1,200 teams in the finals, or it might even be more, it might be like 1,400. Double stack's probably not going to be the best. It's going to be like hitting a multi-person parlay for DK because there's more options, there's more teams.
So you're telling me there's a chance. Johnny Parlay loves that.
There's a chance. There is a chance. You guys didn't already check our article on the community page on fantasyflock.com. Go do that. We put some time into that best ball article called The Sharp Advantage. It's got the name. It's got the logo. It's got
all the info. Get in there.
Oh, yeah, that's important. Yeah. Okay. Tyreek Hill goes at 3. If CMC comes to me at 5, he comes to me at 5.
That's the word 5. What's your exposure to CMC right now?
I don't like. So I think I have 2 out of 19, and I don't like those teams.
I'm not
because there's still values at running back, right? Like
absolutely.
Tony
this
Pollard,
year especially, you get such a run on wide receivers. There's such a premium on them. Last year really took a turn in that direction, and this year it's only worse.
Yeah, like, dude, give me the 11 spot or the 12 spot.
I love it. I love the back end where you can double tap and get 2 premium wide receivers right out of the gate.
So true. Like CeeDee Lamb, Garrett Wilson feels really, really good. But even Eckler, dude, give me Eckler at, where is he, the 11 or the 12 spot? Give me Eckler and one of these receivers as well, and I'll go hero running back build with Eckler. He was the RB1 last year. So
yeah, absolutely. It's just you start to when you take running back or tight end or quarterback too early this year, you start to end up with like a weak wide receiver 3, wide receiver 4 situation, and that's always something that's not good for the blood pressure.
No, it never is. It never is. So we are 6% full. This will be our 20th BBM, which I'm fine with. I'm fine with doing 20 before the schedule actually drops. We're trying to see if we can get in here, get the 1 or 2 spot. Honestly, for me, Chase moves to the 1 spot until further notice with this KC game, KC Cincinnati fireworks. That is enough for me to put Chase in the 1 spot now. Sick.
1 overall? You're saying over Justin Jefferson?
Yeah, because of that game.
You heard it here first. You heard it here first. That is a hot, spicy take from the pound.
It's not that hot. It's not that spicy. I mean, you got to look like Minnesota also added receiver depth,
and they don't have Joe Burrow.
So we'll see.
But they don't have Higgins also. I mean, yeah, you're right. It's not as spicy as I thought about it once I washed it down a little bit with some coffee here.
Right. Now it's like, oh, I can see so clearly. Thank you.
Yeah, that's it. A little bit of caffeine goes a long way. Clears the mind.
Just a little dog treat. Nothing crazy.
Mm-hmm. A little CBD in that dog treat.
Jesus. Has anyone been able to complete the triple stacks of Chargers or Eagles? Hurts, AJ, Smith, Herbert.
AJ?
Yes, I have some Hurts, AJ, and Smith. I believe I have some Hurts, Williams, and Quentin Johnston. I don't think I've been doing them with Keenan Allen.
Yeah, Keenan Allen's a fade for me right now. I did get burnt by him last year in legendary fashion, so it's tough. It's always tough to come back to the table, but you want to have exposure to a little bit of exposure to everybody. So, But I don't know. That's a hard pass for me.
10 minutes saying Chess Liam has been drafting Chase 1-on-1 since, he must have created the schedule. He must have knew.
There you go.
Huge brain.
Yeah, I hear you. It makes sense. I mean, such a high-powered offense. You got Joe Cool throwing on the ball.
That's the thing. I think it's matchup dependent, though. You give me with the juicy matchup for Minnesota, and Justin Jefferson could be back in the spot. But is there a better matchup for Jamar Chase than KC? Like, I think that is actually the best matchup for him. So, I mean, it sort of is what it is. We're gonna go Tony Pollard here. I think Tony Pollard should be going. It says it's not my pick. Oh my God, Underdog. What are you doing? I think Tony Pollard should be going before Waddle, who's the wide receiver 2 on his team.
Tony Pollard's one of my favorite running backs to target this year, especially if you can get him, somewhere in that mid to late second round. He's gonna have a huge year. It's Pollard time in Dallas. There's no doubt about that.
Dude, what's up with Underdog right now? Okay, we ended up getting Tony Pollard. Make sure to queue up the players.
The guy you want at the top of the queue can't get burnt.
Make sure to queue up the players if it's gonna be laggy like this.
Yeah.
Love Star says I've been drafting Chase at 1-on-1 too. I won't have hardly any JJ. I don't think that's smart because JJ can outscore Jamar Chase on any given week.
Yeah, don't sleep on JJ. I understand the Chase love, I do, but don't sleep on JJ. Let's not get crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. You're going to want your 8% Justin Jefferson. That's for sure. Can Justin Jefferson on a 1-week basis outscore Jamar Chase week 17? Yes. Yes, very easily. So that's all I need for information. That being said, I think JJ will eventually fall to the 2 in sharper drafts, and you'll be able to get JJ at the 2 now. So let's go. Ryan is in the 111. We'll take a peek at his team. Starts wide receiver. I love that. Love that.
I'm a big fan of that double tap wide receiver action. Maybe we got the Kelsey Mahomes stack early off.
Seeing that. I like this. Tyreek Hill pairing it with Stevenson as well. Grabs T. Higgins, which is, he's going ahead of Chris Olave now, which is interesting. It does allow you to pair some KC stacks later as well for that correlation in that game.
Yeah.
Which I think is very smart.
So who are we going with? We going Metcalf?
Dude, I have Metcalf as a faller.
Okay.
And I have Lamar Jackson as a rise. He's only going to rise, right, from here.
Wow, we're going QB this early, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. I guess you kind of have to.
I don't like these picks right here. I actually don't.
That's fair.
I don't love these four, to be honest. So
what do you think about Fields at his current ADP?
It's fine. It's fine. You bring in DJ Moore. This guy has the ultimate upside with his legs. 1,100 rushing yards. It's fine. It's fine.
I love me some Fields, but it's one of those situations where I feel like you're starting to have to draft him at his, near or close to his ceiling, which is something I try not to do with QBs. But I feel like the worm is really turning with these QBs and where you need to draft them. I mean, I used to be like a wait till round 8 to 10 with that.
I know.
But
that's more redraft thinking. When we're thinking best ball,
for sure.
You want to think about, oh my God, I hate this. He just blew up his own draft. You want to think about what's their ultimate one game ceiling, right? When you're paying for Justin Fields, you're paying for a potential 40-point game week 17, right? Same thing with Lamar. They might be bad values over the year, and they could actually still pay out their price. I think they have a better chance of paying out they have a better chance of being values than like Josh Allen at 15, who, he has to finish as QB1. If Lamar Jackson finishes as QB2, that would subsequently hurt the value of a Josh Allen. But yeah, that single game ceiling is all you care about week 17. You're going to want exposure to these Russian QBs. It's just kind of that. But I remember those days when I used to beat you with Tony Romo in the 11th.
Revisionist history, if it's ever been said. It's ever been told. No, that probably didn't happen. I can't remember who you had in the Super Bowl that year. I
had a lot of Tony Romo. I had a lot of Jameis Winston. I was the zero QB king back in 2013.
That's how I was brought up. That's how I was trained.
It's the best. It's the best. Let's pull up the draft board. I like what RK is doing right here at the 111. I do like this double tap. It'll be a little chalky, but it's not the biggest deal. You can get different from here on forward, so I don't really think it's the biggest deal. You also don't have to stack Fields with TJ Moore too. So either or, if you're maxing it, if you're maxing it, you're not going to do it every time.
Yeah.
But if you're doing 50 and it comes to you, yeah, you're going to grab it. Is this going to be another tight end? Tony Romo, the GOAT, the fantasy football GOAT.
That's right.
For sure. The 300-yard king. We've been playing by those bonuses forever. Shit. Like, I have these guys extremely close. Give me...
Yeah.
Let's go Watson here. Let's go Watson.
Yeah. Right around where he should go. It's curious to see how this Green Bay team's going to be this year. It's really hard to put your finger on it this early on.
What I don't like about Green Bay, I don't mind as much Christian Watson because, again, I'm thinking, what's his single game ceiling, right? And it's high. I don't think he's a good value this year, but that single game ceiling's high. I have Cooper Kupp to get us through. But Romeo Doubs, dude, he didn't impress me last year at all. So I've been actually taking shots on Reed, the rookie they brought in.
Okay.
I would just rather draft him at his ADP.
Watson has that spike potential week in and week out, and you have to think, right? Like, you like to have wide receivers on bad teams, and I think it's pretty safe to say that this is not going to be a very good team. They're probably going to be behind the games. They're probably going to have to throw, Then you got a guy like Watson. He can do a lot with a few opportunities, and he should get plenty of opportunities this season. What do we got?
I mean, we could go Dobbins for the correlation, but I think we grab a receiver here, especially with Terry calling to us.
Mixed scoring, right?
I like Terry here, to be honest.
Yeah, Terry mixed scoring. Let's do it.
Let me think about it. Let me think. So we come back at 68. I can mess with those receivers. 68 for running backs. Let's go Dobbins for the correlation.
You son of a bitch.
I know. Dude, Terry McLaurin, not sexy, right? But he gets it done.
I love McLaurin. He's basically QB proof. If you can get half a QB in there, he does pretty good.
If you can get Heineken to crack a couple bottles.
That's it. I mean, this dude, all he does is get in the end zone.
Yeah, Hart says one of the only rookies not steamed up yet, him and Mims.
Yeah.
If Mims can steal some work in Denver, or if one of those receivers gets traded closer to the trade deadline, because it doesn't look like it's happening now. Yeah, Mims, or if one gets hurt, Tim Patrick re-injures, his knee. Sutton's on and off with injuries. He can find work. The other one is Tillman, Cleveland, if he can take work from DPJ. So
I'll say this though, coaching matters in the NFL more than any other sport, in my opinion. And having Peyton go in there, I think that we might see a pretty big difference this year in that Denver offense. I really do believe that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
they have the run game or the pass game?
What'd you say?
You think in the run game?
I think both. I think it's going to be a pretty effective offense. I mean, like I said, coaching matters. You had Buddy Hackett in there, not doing much for nobody. So I do think there's a big difference here. And they have the talent. I mean, they have talent at the skill positions. And I do think Russ can knock some rust off him this year. I mean, maybe it's overly optimistic. I truly believe that this is going to be a different year. I mean, did you think last year was going to be such a debacle going in?
No. I mean, I wasn't really drafting a lot of Russ because after I was drafting a lot of Tim Patrick.
I had a lot of Cortland Sutton last year.
I had 24% Tim Patrick at the time of the injury with like 350 drafts. And then I did 200 more drafts to get that down to 16% before the season started. So when people try to come at me and be like, oh, you're drafting this early, like you give me that. And like you're telling someone that had 16% dead Tim Patrick and still was profitable in cash games, 41% ROI. Like, I know it's okay. We find values and we make up for it because we're just better at drafting. So, yeah, I wasn't a real believer in Russ last year. I'm really still not. But he's easy to stack. But I won't have a ton of him. I think this is a little early for A-Rich.
This coming from the guy that won $25K on Russ's back last year.
I know.
How about a little bit of respect? He gets no respect. No. All right, so where are we at here? We going? What are we thinking? Ooh, Tony. I love me some Tony this year.
We're going Marquise Brown.
I also love Cam Akers.
It gives us options. I can't go running back here. We need to pull in.
No, that's fair. I'm just saying, how do you feel about Cam Akers overall this year?
He scares me.
Fair. That's fair. Here's the thing.
He's the guy they want to trade.
Say that again?
He's the guy they wanted to trade.
Okay.
They said, hey, Cam, stay home for 2 weeks and tie your shoes so you don't trip. We can't trade an injured player, okay? Darrell Henderson, get in here and run the ball. Okay, he can't do it either. Cam, come back, please. No one wants you. I guess we'll take you.
Love stars. Don't hate on the high knees on the airplane, right? That is a motivational tactic that's tried and true, okay? It's not his fault that his team was a bunch of bums and didn't back him up, all right?
Give me Zach Evans at 202.
The old high knees. That was one hell of a story.
Yes, the classic. Absolute classic.
Just because the guy's a dork doesn't mean he doesn't have another good year in him. All right.
Could. Very easily could. Cam, I don't hate him. I don't hate him if I'm coming off like I'm a disbeliever, but
I mean, he really flashed at the end of last season. I mean, obviously the trade talk's something to consider, but we've seen now that you can get better these days with the Achilles injury a couple years removed. I mean, we've seen a few different examples of it.
Dude, Robinson sparked early in the season last year, and then he just
sure
off to ETN though.
But Dante Foreman, I mean, he came back okay after a couple of years. That first year back was a little spotty. Second year back, he was more of himself. So, I mean,
but they're never truly back. Like Cam Akers had, dude, this guy has 0 receivers through 7 rounds. So, thank you for paying the rake. This
all
is
right,
now
there's
2 out of 11 advance.
There's a lot of strategies out there. There's a lot of strategies you can go with.
Fantasy Football Garage, welcome to the live stream, my man. If you guys are just coming in now, drop that like for the spike. Yeah, I just came up with that.
I was gonna say, we giving away a bike now.
Spike. We could have gone Connor here too. Just I want to hit that 4th receiver. When I get an early QB, I always want to really catch up quickly at receiver, especially we took 2 running backs as well.
I think you have to because they start to really fall off here.
Yep. For sure. It also gives us options. Look at these QBs. We can go Staffy, Love, Kyler, Dak. Obviously, we have Lamar, but we can get that secondary guy very easily with a roster like this.
Absolutely. You got Cooks going to his 15th team. So that lucky 15 for Cook.
I like him on Dallas, though.
I do too. Yeah, I liked him in New England. I mean, he's usually good wherever he goes. He must be an absolute asshole. He gets traded like every other season. It's unbelievable. I mean, he's got the talent. He puts up the numbers, but the way he goes, it's unbelievable.
It's true. Let's see what ROK's been doing. After the DJ Moore pick, he went Chris Godwin, Keenan Allen, James Conner, Quentin Johnston. Love that. Got a little correlation here, Mini, with the Chargers. Really nice. Goddard falls to 84.
Ooh, exactly.
Kincaid goes at 88. What is happening? Are
you thinking tight end now?
No.
Yeah.
No, because this guy fell, right? Goddard fell. So the room is low on tight ends, in my opinion. This guy, I think, was just high on Kincaid, right? He would have picked Goddard here. So I'm not too worried about tight ends. Waller won at 74. That's a little strange.
That was a hell of a landing spot for Kincaid, that's for sure. But rookie tight ends are tough to bet on. I mean, that's one of those positions that generally take a year or two.
I like Dak for the correlation, but I'd rather just risk one of these guys don't want Dak.
Going Dotson?
So many other QBs. I think there's a tier drop off after Jahan. So let's bring in Jahan here. It makes too much sense. Plus, like an unstacked Dak's pretty gross. He lost Schultz this year, so definitely one of his red zone targets.
I'm liking the way these receivers are coming in.
Dude, ER7 with the comment of the night. There's a lot of strategies out there, but not getting receivers is not one of them.
I know. I was trying to be nice.
Facts.
Yeah, that's where I was going at. That was a sarcasm.
It's beautiful. I love how he's just talking that game, and he's.
You got to. I mean, I'm of the belief of you can never have enough wide receivers.
Of course.
Give me
NFL
8 or 9.
NFL Blitz brings in the unstacked Dak Prescott, just fucking punishes us for no reason. Max Payne. Max pain caused. It's okay.
What do we got? What do we got?
However, will we recover? Dang puppy at 50%.
Ooh, how you feeling about Beckham?
Hell no. Hell no.
No love for the Beckham Stizak?
Hell no. Zagon? Zag's way gone, huh? Hell. Hell no.
Poor OBJ.
I can't, bro. I can't. This is a really good roster construction to bring in Jameson Williams, excuse me, because we have, we have 5 set guys.
Yeah. This is one thing we never frown upon here in the pound. It's gambling. So we're not gonna hold that against the man.
Well, I would say upside. On gambling, maybe he found an edge.
Hey,
and he went to take it.
What can I say? We're always looking for an edge around here. I mean, we are Patriots fans after all.
It makes too much sense to go Williams. Piss and yellow. It makes too much sense. We can stop at 7 receivers. It also allows us to go goof at 120.
I agree. Oh, sorry, I cut you off there.
You're good, bro.
I agree with Love Star as far as OBJ being better in best ball. Especially, I have a few teams where I drafted him late before he got landed on Baltimore, and most of my early teams have Lamar Jackson too. So I have that stack just organically happened for me in a few places.
But that is a significant upcharge on Odell Beckham on a run first offense that just brought in.
Yeah, because I got him when he didn't have a team.
Dude, we're talking about Mark Andrews. Bateman is back.
Sure.
Dobbins, Lamar, Gus Edwards. It's going to be a run first team. Yeah. Like Odell, great at pick 150, 160 for like the touchdown upside. You expecting this guy to pull off 100-yard game though?
I do. I think I'll have a good one. I do. Think about it though. More options, less to key in
run
on.
First team.
True. That doesn't mean you won't spike.
You're gonna have a lot of games where Lamar throws for 208 yards and runs for 80 and a touchdown.
Sure.
He's gonna get there, but the other players besides Andrews will likely fall short. And if we're going on spikes, give me Bateman who can take one to the house on a slant.
Fair enough.
That's where I'm at.
All right. So what are we keying in on with this pick? What are you thinking here?
We could easily get our second QB, but this is a range where we'll wait for RK to make his pick first. He's waiting for that little tidbit of information. Smart. Yes. OBJ's Julio Jones of last year, bro, is washed.
That's harsh there. Maybe.
Davis goes, I want the player who gets 10 catches, 2 touchdowns, and 150 yards. Anyone know that guy? Yeah, it's Anthony Richardson in 2 years when he's playing receiver. Let's see. I want running back in this range, to be honest. Where we have 2, I think we start to fall off.
Ooh, does Damien Harris
after
get in there?
Yeah, Damien Harris fits for the touchdown upside.
I love me some Damien Harris this year.
P. Ryan could fall into that category, but this would strictly be for like early season points, right? We think Javonte will be back and healthy come the playoffs.
Give me a guy on a good offense, a guy who's going to get red zone looks, a guy who's going to be getting those touches. We know that the Bills like to run the ball in close games too.
It's just going to matter. Are they going to allow Damien Harris to run in those red zone looks on the 2-yard line, right? Or is Josh Allen going to be that guy still?
Part of me feels like that's why you bring a guy like that in, to take some of those away from Allen, get kind of lessen the chance of him getting hurt. But here's the thing too: the Bills, they built their team like they play in a dome. All right, so bringing in a guy like Harris, who's proven in the shitty weather, which is Buffalo, like it makes a lot of sense. Maybe they're starting to figure out they need guys like that to win in the cold.
Let's see what H.J. Wigglesworth does. Always in the stream, always watching, never talking. Maybe he'll join the Discord someday. He goes Smith and P. Ryan, and that is a naked Gino. That's a naked Gino.
Now it's a party.
Now it's a party. Yes. Yes. Oh, guys, please keep the Michael Thomas comments to a minimum. No, just kidding.
No censoring the chat. But seriously, no one needs to talk about Michael Thomas.
Hey, people have their guys. MT.
Yeah, I'm a Buckeyes fan, man. I love me some Michael Thomas, but he's just been questionable.
ER7 knows what he has to do to get Alec Pierce, that's for sure. And that's pick him at 123.
Yeah, that's it. You better reach on him. I'm surprised.
A common riser, let me tell you, since the big board, since we've been touting him at 170, 166. I'll tell you who I want to go here in a second. And I think we grab good old Jared. Good old Jared here to pair with Lamar. Done at QB. We got the correlation here. Could always grab a late Laporta. 5 picks after ADP. And words, Michael Thomas and MT. That's all we need. That's all we need. Yeah, I'm completely comfortable with these 2 QBs and just rocking with these. You have your rushing upside and your high ceiling with Lamar. You have your weekly floor guy with Jared Goff.
So naked Jared, huh?
No. We got Jameson Williams for the playoffs, week 7.
Okay, my bad.
And we can get a late Laporta as well, which I think is interesting. I don't mind going these like double anchor RBs and just kind of finding the fill-in pieces, but you can quickly see how these ADPs are a little shorter now for running backs, where this group was sort of combined just like 5 days ago. They were all lumped into one, and now they're sort of finding a home.
I love Harris as the RB3. I really feel like he has some upside this year.
Yeah, he has. There's no doubt he has touchdown upside, and he's on an offense that very easily could put him in that situation. So
he's got a lot to prove too. And then, dude, he's a hard-nosed, tough-working guy.
How do you take pressure off of Josh Allen is a good run game, and when has Buffalo had a good run game? It's been quite a while.
Absolutely. I think that was about as good of a spot that he could land. Of course, stayed in the division, and I'm sure he'll make the Patriots pay for that this year.
I like the Kendra pick here. Really wanted Kendra to fall to us. Doesn't happen. I like the Rice pick because he's only going to climb. He's only going to climb, which is sad because it's expensive.
Yeah, it is.
It's expensive. It reminds me a lot of Sky Moore last
year. I know. That's why for me, I'd rather bet on the second-year guy, has a year in the system already. I do believe that. I like Sky Moore a lot.
We're going to Elijah Mitchell here for the upside.
I think last year, you got to look at last year for Sky Moore as kind of like a redshirt season.
Kinda. But should it have been with their
No, I don't think it should have.
Cast?
No, but they had the veterans there. You know what I mean? I mean, they won a freaking Super Bowl, so they did something right. But the fact that they let MVS go, I just feel like they need them.
I'm so boned if he misses another season. Come on. Oh, I'm sorry. He's a heartbreaker. He's a heartbreaker. Isn't he playing for free this year? I think he restructured. He's paying to stay on the team.
That's right.
I remember feeling that with Will Fuller last year.
Oh, Will Fuller.
I fell into the Will Fuller trap. I had my 8%. I wasn't gonna miss out.
I mean, I love a wide receiver with the wild dreads. That's very enticing always.
Right. Unknown if they're gonna play with multiple injuries. My favorite was when an article came out, like, "Oh yeah, he's talking to multiple teams," and then just like nothing else.
He's talking.
Nothing else.
Are they listening? Are they listening? That's the important part of that sentence.
That's like Zeke. Like, all right, these are the teams I want to go to. They're like, all right, we're gonna draft someone that's like 30 years younger, body life wise. Dude just has so many rushing attempts on his head. I can't do MVS this year.
I have some MVS.
I was a fader last year. Sure, if Shaheed's gone, like maybe in this range, if I really need a receiver and the next guy's Wan'Dale Robinson, it looks like I'd be forced to, but
yeah, it's interesting. I mean, but as far as the KC wide receivers go, I mean, Tony's the one I like the most, but I love where Sky Moore is being drafted, and I do believe in his talents. And then MVS is a spike week kind of guy.
He is, but I don't see it because it really only happened did it happen more than once last year? If we don't count the playoffs, I don't think it did. Someone check how many times he spiked into the top. We'll give him the top 12 receivers.
With Juju gone, how big of an effect does that have?
I don't know. I don't.
I feel like it's minimal for MVS though, just because it's not exactly like Juju and MVS are competing for the same type of touches. You know,
they bring in so many receivers, and this is a team that spreads the ball.
Mahomes
will spread the ball to 8 different people. It's still Kelsey's team. So Juju 100%. Leaves, it's still Kelsey's team.
100%. It's very much point guard style of football, spreading that ball around.
Yeah, I'd rather Rice. I'd rather take a shot on Rice than take a shot. I just think MVS is dust at this point.
I feel like once we're at this part of the draft, though, right, where it's like I like to bet on those high-powered offenses, just because when it comes down to it, you have more of a chance of a spike week when you're talking about a team that throws the ball as much as Kansas City does. But
yeah,
in my opinion,
no doubt he's going in the right range. So let's put it that way. Like if DPJ, I'm even taking Chark over him, to be honest. But even I don't really like Chark or MVS. If I had to pick, I would go Chark.
Thing is, I like Chark as a talent. I just don't love I don't know what we're gonna get out of Carolina this year. You know,
right?
I just wish Chark landed on I wish
mystery
Chark
box
ended up in Kansas City or something.
Give me the mystery box. Give me the mystery box. MVS is a bad receiver. I don't know how else to put it. He's a bad receiver. Look at Aaron Rodgers' MVP season and tell me what MVS did that season.
Let's not put too much emphasis on catching the ball. That's not
74 points.
That's not fair.
74 fantasy points. All right.
Okay. All right. Moving on from MVS.
Just beat the horse. Just beat it.
So what position are you targeting right now with this pick?
This range, it gets ugly. Like I would like Warren in this range.
Yes, we are throwing darts at this point.
People know Gallup used to be my boy in this range. There goes Laporta. 12 picks early because why the F not when you have Kelsey, Mark Andrews? So I wanted Laporta, but now I think we We go with Knox for the same reason that you like MVS. High scoring offense, red zone. We already have Harris, so it's a little double there. Let's do it. A little mini stack between these two. Maybe one pushes the other on.
Yeah, Knox definitely has spike potential when it comes to your tight end too. There's no question about it. I like what you did here with tight end for sure. Both touchdown dependent tight ends, but they're both, at least Knox is in a team that gets a lot of tight ends. I mean, a lot of touchdowns.
Dude, I like this discount, and if it's gonna keep rising, I'm just gonna keep buying. They paid the man. He's gonna be on the field. He's gonna have a nice red zone role. He was never that 100-yard guy. You were always buying him for his red zone upside, right?
It's just about touchdowns for him.
Yeah.
And I mean, he can screw around and get you a couple in a game if you're lucky.
Now, Kincaid will be that like PPR guy, in my opinion. I'm not completely sold on Kincaid at 116. It's going to depend on how many 2 tight end sets they run. Is Knox going to become the most expensive blocker in the league?
I know the Kincaid thing is definitely something to consider. I was going to ask you if that scares you at all when it comes to that.
Not for Knox, but him going to Buffalo and Knox being there with Diggs and that's basically it.
Here's the thing too, though. Like historically speaking, and I mentioned this before, rookie tight ends don't generally jump right in. I know we know Pitts had a 1,000-yard season. I get that. Pitts is definitely a different case. He's more of a wide receiver than a tight end. But generally speaking, tight ends take a couple of years to come around. So we'll see what happens. I mean, of course, Kincaid did land in a very fruitful situation there in Buffalo.
Right.
But
yeah. So I think you look at that separately from the data. I think you have to. It's hard to ignore when someone does land in a high-powered offense like that, and we just take the data, of like 30 people in the past. Ooh, these guys are drafted in the top, in the first round, without taking landing spot, QB, that stuff into account. So I do like where your head's on that one. Tight ends are dry. They're dry at this point. We need a running back. I like Tank here. I think this is actually a great spot to take him. So we'll bring in Tank. We're not dying for a receiver. We're actually super freaking strong.
When in doubt, take the best name on the board. That's what I always say. Tank.
Don't look at Tank. Don't look at Tank. Yeah, here you go. Kincaid better be starting. Yes, 100%. Better be playing the slot at 116 ADP. I feel the same exact way. He has to.
Yeah,
he has to.
I agree. And that's the thing. Like they need a reliable third wide receiver. So could Kincaid, be placed into that situation? I mean, that's obviously the dream scenario if you're drafting him this part of the season.
And is it enough in the red zone? Like if he gets 3 touchdowns, if Kincaid scores 3 touchdowns this year, he likely busts.
Yeah.
He likely busts as ADP. 4 touchdowns, he likely busts. 5 touchdowns for where he's going. I mean, here at 89, he would, Njoku. I don't know. I'm going to Njoku every day. That ends with a Y.
Yeah, I like Njoku.
It just worries me for both of the tight ends, to be honest. But if this gets, what's his price point now? Because 88, going at 88 is ridiculous. Yeah. Okay. 116. Underdog keeps kicking me out. Yeah.
Sucks.
It's pain. It's pain. Everyone steams Kincaid because they're going to play more 12 personnel, but that screams Damien Harris to me, especially since they said that they don't want to run Allen as much.
Exactly. I mean, here's the thing. I don't want to go crazy here. I'm not saying he's going to be like Josh Jacobs was last year. However, I do think that he's going to be a huge surprise. I do think that Harris is going to be one of the stories this season of high value running back.
Are you back on Harris?
I'm all the way on him.
Are you back on?
I'm all the way on Harris this year. You heard it here first. Draft Harris. Draft Harris where you can.
I love that. I can't wait to go back. And Harris scores 3 touchdowns.
Save this clip, baby.
So we have no correlation with Lamar besides J.K. Dobbins, and it doesn't truly matter to me. What I'm more mad about is the guy going up, grabbing Laporta 13 picks before ADP when he already has Kelsey and Andrews. Only in Best Ball Mania. I can't wait to look at these teams afterwards and see what the hell people did.
Mania.
I know the Pounders did well, but I like McColl here for spike weeks with Rodgers. He's the 3rd best receiver in New York. Gadget guy, should be able to get some spike weeks. Welcome to the team.
I'd be surprised if Buffalo gets Zeke or Fournette. What do you think about that?
Doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Doesn't make sense. I think
Fournette
Lenny has a chance to end up in New England.
I can see Fournette landing in New England, even though I just said he's total trash. It doesn't mean I think he's good. We already have Robinson. We don't need
bias aside. Bias aside. Always keep bias aside.
Oh, well, for sure. But like I said, New England's running back room is pretty full right now. You know, they did use 2 high draft picks last year on 2 running backs, 2 third-round picks, right?
Well, we hope not. You never know.
Well, they took Pierre Strong and Kevin Harris.
Dude, Pierre Strong had 10 carries last year after the Damien Harris injury.
Yeah.
So no one knows what's going on there. Oh, Zach Evans went super early, huh? I'm over here thinking he's still on the board. He went at 184. I mean, I don't really hate that. I think that's actually pretty sharp. As long as he didn't get Cam Akers. Yeah, I'm fine with that. We do need a running back.
Yeah, what do we got here? Ooh.
I'm between these two. If Hunt doesn't.
Is he?
Yeah.
Okay.
It is busy in New York, right? But they did draft a running back for a reason. I don't think they're sold on Michael Carter. They also have Sharon carries with Donovan Knight. So
you're not feeling Gainwell.
Let's go with the Nick Chubb injury. Sorry for your exposures. Narrative.
Yeah.
I don't mean it.
No, it's good. It's a good strategy in best ball though, with your late round running backs to take a guy like Ford, who's landing in one of the best running offenses in football. You know, if there is an injury, which there often is a running back, so it's an instant lottery ticket.
I love this. ER7 brings up a good point. Marvin Jones for your Goff, 100% if we need a receiver, but this last pick has to be a tight end.
Mm-hmm.
That's like when I come to like fully balancing this team, I see we're good at QB. We're good at running back now. We have some upside. We have some handcuff upside, touchdown upside, floor guys, ceiling guys, wide receivers.
Jameson Williams and Damien Harris.
Jameson Williams back after the bye weeks. Yeah, you're Damien Harris.
That's how you pick on the board.
We need a 3rd tight end. And likely we need one of these guys to have a really good
season. You know what I'm going to say? You know who I'm looking at?
Oh, my God. First off, you with fighting words and Ryan with fighting words. Lenny to the Chargers would be fun. Oh, you're going to start a riot in the chat with that type of topic. An absolute riot. My God. See how you guys have done. How many likes we got on the video? How many likes?
Hook it up. Hook it up with
20. 21. You guys actually did really good. Really good.
Much appreciated.
Put a freaking smile on for that one. Put a smile on. Let's go. If the video hits 50 likes, we're giving away the free Roger Goodell towel to a random commenter after the video post. You have to comment on it in order to be eligible. Just makes it easier. 5 picks away. Mike Gesicki, good.
Ooh, damn.
Not my guy.
Sniped.
Ooh, wow. ROK is running with Cole Kmet and Mike Gesicki at tight end.
Whew.
I was liking that draft until I think this Patterson pick should have been a tight end.
Aggro.
We'll take a peek.
I like Gesicki a lot more than you do, I think. I think he's going to have a good role here.
But you think you can stop a Cole Kmet and Gesicki, or is that thin? I think it's super thin.
No, I think you need a third tight end in that situation. You know, when you're going tight end twos, you want 3 of them. You know,
100%. Now, likely someone that should be a huge faller, right? He's going to need an injury to Mark Andrews to really have a role in this offense when they bring in Odell.
I would think so.
We're going Conklin for the Jets double.
Yeah, I like Conk this year. I mean,
steady.
As
steady.
a third tight end, he's going to give you some spike weeks.
Yeah. Yep. 10 picks after ADP.
Absolutely.
Did we get any? I feel like we didn't get any ridiculous values in this draft. We got Dotson like 7 picks after. That's not crazy.
Dotson.
Elijah Mitchell 12 picks after. Mm-hmm. That's not like ridiculous. We didn't get any ridiculous values. I think that's sort of how BBMs are going to go.
You got Harris at 116. He's a first round value.
First rounds. Fighting words. Fighting words. Absolute fighting words. Let's take a peek at this draft afterwards, and we'll review the Pounders lineups. Likely for the Lamar correlation. I think his role diminishes when they bring in Odell. They bring in Zay Flowers. They have Bateman. They have Mark Andrews. You're going to need an injury. I think we need steady production here. Now, if I had a different set of tight ends, like maybe if I had TJ Hawkinson and I can afford to really take that shot on my second tight end.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. I could take a shot on Likely here, but I think for this 3, we needed another steady tight end 2, tight end, fringe tight end 3.
For sure. Here's the thing too, like that offense, there's so many weapons on that offense. You never know who's going to go off in what week, but in a best ball situation, I mean, I do think that Conk's going to get loose here and there. You know, I mean, think about how many guys you need to worry about now in that wide receiver room. I mean, it's crazy. The Jets, I can't even believe it. Like, they really loaded up on talent. It's impressive.
And all you care about for these tight ends is touchdown upside, especially in half-point PPR with no bonuses. Touchdown upside for tight ends is going to be the biggest factor. And you look at if he just has a Tunyon type year, right? Mm-hmm. And that was not going to happen back-to-back years. That was a super fade. Was that last season or the year before? I get these best ball lineups all mixed up. I think that was last year. He was the fade, right? Where it didn't happen again. But if he can have a Tunyon-like season where he just scores a bunch of touchdowns, that's great.
Absolutely. You got A-Rod going down to New York, tripping his balls off, looking for T-Conk.
Darkness retreat.
Yeah, no big deal.
All right, let's review ER7's lineup. He went with Richardson and Tua. I love this double, and I definitely think you can stop here as well.
Yeah, see, this is a man after my own heart here, right there. Going late on QB, waiting for pick 75 to tap his first QB. I like it.
Mm-hmm. And then pretty much going
because of the upside. I do dig that upside. You know,
even Tua has huge spike potential.
Oh, without
Richardson,
without a doubt. As long as he can keep his head on his shoulders.
These running backs, I like this group as well. Now, people might not like this pairing of
I like this
Jones
team.
and Dillon, but I like it. I think it's one of the rare combinations of handcuff running backs that you can do it, and it does make sense because Dillon could get the touchdowns one week. You can push through a low-owned Aaron Jones to the playoffs, and maybe Jones goes off, week 17. It's likely. It's not like it's not possible.
And they're going to have to lean on those guys more than last year. With A-Rod out of town, it just stands to reason that they're going to have to lean on that running game to settle things down.
So I agree. 100% agree there. You see the Cincinnati KC mini stack here, which is nice for that week 17 correlation game that we got news from. Tyreek Hill, Higgins, Hopkins, Tony, Pierce, KJ, DPJ. You got a lot of best ball guys here, in my opinion, which is a good thing.
For sure.
Yeah. You got your spike week.
Wait, look at this. This is some Hill, Higgins, Hopkins. This is pornographic. I love it.
Greg Dulcich, Jelani Woods, Jake Ferguson. 3 guys.
Tony, Pierce. Woo, baby.
Johnny's still the receivers. Johnny's still slobbering.
That's it.
How about the tight ends?
Okay. All right.
Enough? Enough? He's got the correlation with Jelani, which I like. How about a late Tyler Croft?
A little thin on tight end.
Going to Miami.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To answer your question about the tight ends, we're thin here. We're thin here at tight ends, but
strong everywhere else.
So strong everywhere else. Those wide receivers are going to carry him right on through to the playoffs. There, I have to tell you that right now.
All right, we'll see him there, I guess.
That's it.
Justin Fields and Staffy. I think this is a perfect couple right here. And Connor, Alvin Kamara, Kendra Miller, Dante Foreman, Chuba Hubbard, Cordell Patterson. I'll tell you where you went wrong. This is where you went wrong. Kamara, you have to have at least 2 anchor running backs. I think you have to have Kamara as your RB3. But even if you had Dobbins, I think that'd be fine. Dobbins, Connor, and you go Kamara as your RB3. But it forces you to pick another running back on the back end due to that suspension, and you needed that pick at tight end. So it kind of wastes a roster spot, and this lineup doesn't really allow you to do that. Wide receiver, super strong. This Chase Claypool pick also could have been a tight end, in my opinion. He was strong with Adams, Amon-Ra, DJ Moore, Chris Godwin, Keenan Allen, Quentin Johnson, Darnell Mooney. Yeah. This Chase Claypool, I know you did it for the correlation, but you're going to be extremely thin at tight end. And that's where, like, for the ultimate balance for this roster, for me, I would like that to be a.
Is this the team that have Fields on it?
What was that?
Does this team have Fields on it? He's loaded with like every other Bear.
It does. It does. But
is this like a quadruple stack? He has Claypool, Mooney, and Kamara.
Yeah.
This dude is eating a deep dish in Chi-Town right now.
So that's another good point. When we think about Chicago, you're not thinking about, a 350-yard game. And I do think it's interesting with some offenses to grab 3 of their receivers and maybe some push the others along and further into the playoffs where the other players have a big game. But I'm going to like that strategy more with heavy passing offenses rather than like a Justin Fields offense. But yeah, I think just this one pick, I think if this was tight end, it's a very, very good draft still.
I was excited when Chase went to Chicago last season, and not much happened there, but it's a little early to judge the trade quite yet. We'll see how it goes this year, but I don't know, man. I'd be surprised if they don't figure it out with him. But
they gave up a late first for him.
Yeah. They got weapons there now. They really do. So we'll see what happens. He's kind of buried now that they got DJ Moore too.
Hey, Eric, welcome to the live stream. Says, I'm used to DK 20 rounds. I'm an underdog noob. Well, welcome. Welcome, my friend. And everyone, if you guys aren't following Johnny yet on the Twitter machine, it is down in the description. Make sure you do that. He's at 15 now?
That's right, 15 and climbing. Get on this train when it's hot, baby. Get in early.
Get in the Discord as well in the description. Right. The free draft guide is dropping there tomorrow. We have our article that was posted on Fantasy Flock there as well. So all good things happening. All good things happening. The giveaways are all there as well. Polly Chips, welcome to the live stream. And
get in early. It's like Macintosh stock, baby. You want to get in early.
Astroworld, another newcomer. Welcome, my friend. 0 RB team can work because trading wide receivers to hopeless people for running backs is a good strat. We talking dynasty here? Hey, Paulie. Hey, Paulie, trying to get whacked. Says, yo. So is Croft going to be Miami tight end 1? Let's wait. Let's wait for the offseason. Let's wait for some reports here. There will be. So give me some Croft in the puppy where that is going to fill fast, right? Last pick Croft. It won't kill you. It won't break the bank when you have Tua for the correlation. And that tournament's going to fill before you get that news. That could be a positive thing. Whereas in BBM, we can afford to wait for that information before we draft him. Because if you get positive information, he's not going to be a 15th rounder, right? Maybe he goes to the 17th at the highest. So BBM, you can wait. Puppy might be a good idea. Just because it's going to fill. And if you're one of the only guys that's doing it, that could be an edge. That's what we're fighting for. We're fighting for small advantages. Tyler, welcome to the live stream, my man. Crushed it on that short. Everyone give Tyler a thumbs up on that last short he posted. Vaporware, welcome to the live stream. Okay, gave up the 201 for Claypool, basically a 1.
Got to integrate him better this year. I mean, he's going to have a whole nother year in that playbook. Cracking the books.
Yeah. I get what you're saying. It is tough to sort of judge where he should be placed.
It's tough in football to get traded in midseason and then get a whole new playbook and start to get going right away. It's not basketball. You know what I mean? It's not like at the trade deadline in basketball where the Lakers get 8 new players and all of a sudden they're going to be in the finals. Yeah, football is different. It
scares me though that they bring in DJ Moore, right? And they already have Mooney. I think Mooney's going to be
I think that's a
pretty good
factor.
Wide receiver too. But this is why Claypool's going so late. So
sure. But I don't mind throwing darts on, especially if you have Fields. You know, but I agree with you. Tight end there might have been the wiser pick for this particular build, especially since he just got Mooney before that.
Ryan, appreciate you. Good draft as well. Claypool might take some of that production from Komet last year, especially red zone.
It's definitely possible. That's why I don't love Komet this year. You know?
Yeah. It's getting busy. They bring in Johnson, who's going to be, he'll take over that red zone role. I strongly think you have Khalil Herbert, who is 5'9", 5'9.5". So I think Herbert has to take a little more of a hit from where he's going right now as well. Do they have Dearness Johnson there as well? Or am I making stuff up?
In Chicago?
Yeah, Donta Foreman, excuse me.
They got Donta Foreman.
Kind of like a 3 running back head right now.
Yeah.
Could be getting gross in Chicago, but if I'm going to take a bet on someone,
all of a sudden it's very crowded skill players over there. All of a sudden.
Vapor says Rashawn going nice and late on DK. Yeah, if you guys haven't seen our DK video with those early ADPs, day 1, I think. Day 1 of the contest open, we dropped a video. That one's absolutely flames. And they're doing a rake back as well. So if you do 150, if you max it, you get $150 back. If you do $150 $10 lineups, $1,500, it'll cost you $1,350. You get $150 back. I think that's really good incentive, and I would love for Underdog to do something like that for the sickos, but I don't think they need to.
Sure. Give the degenerates a bone now and then. You know what I mean?
I know.
And you better believe, if you're in here with us right now at this time of year, you're a degenerate, and we love you for it.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. You are a degenerate. And make sure you get into the degenerate zone, which is the Discord down below.
That's right.
Guys, thank you all for coming out. John, you got anything for the crowd?
Thanks for coming in. Another great draft. Love to see everybody. Pound it.
Pounders. Have a good night.